子琪，你会较算讲嘞。
And the ABC say that which of the following is correct? B.
Okay. In a competitive market, again, competitive market. So you have in a competitive market, you have price is equal to A. Okay, price is equal to A, and then Q is equal to 200. So the production level is 200, and ATC is equal to $9, and AVC is equal to $7. Okay. Price here. Okay. So 王子琪 in this case, the firm has a profit or has a loss. It makes money or it has a loss. According to this information. Wang Ziqi, it makes a profit or it has a loss. Yu Huayuan.
Loss.
Loss. And will the firm continue to produce?
Yes.
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 You see that? Because ATC is equal to $9, right? And the price is equal to A. So each unit, the loss is $1. Okay? But because at this point, $8 is still larger than AVC, $7, right? So the loss is less than fixed cost. The loss is less than fixed cost. And the firm can still recover some of the variable, all of the variable costs and some of the fixed costs. So it will continue to produce, but in the long run, it will have to think about it because it has a loss. If in the long run it continue to make this kind of loss, probably you're gonna exit the market. Okay, so question 24, the answer is B. Question 25, Yu Huayuan.
The total cost of a firm is TC equal to Q
Okay,
minus 12Q squared plus 36Q plus 10. What is its shutdown point?
okay. So, what is the shutdown point? So you have, well, shutdown point is the minimum of A, B, C. Okay, so you have TC is equal to Q to 3's power minus 12Q squared plus 36Q plus 10. Okay? So first of all, you're going to get TVC, right? TVC Q to 3's power minus 12Q squared plus 36Q. Okay, and AVC is equal to Q squared minus 12Q minus 36. So you want to figure out what is the minimum of AVC, right? So then the Q, the A, B, C, so you have 2Q minus 12 equals 0. So Q is equal to 6. So this question is very simple. Okay? Later on, when the class is over, please return your midterm to me. Okay, let's now get to question 9, okay, of on page 237. Question 9 on page 237. So Chen Xicai, question 9, please read it. Chen Xicai, You don't have a book? Huang Xiuhui, you have a book? Okay, question 9 on page 237. Right, thank you. Computed. Industry. Imposed. Representative. Analyze. Okay, so first of all, the textbook only asks 2 cases, but I will demonstrate 4 cases for you. Okay, case 1. Okay, so for the firm, the profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost, right? Okay, this is when there's no tax. Okay. Total revenue minus total cost when there is no tax. Okay? Second one, there is tax, right? What's the tax? The tax is a percentage on profit. Okay, the tax is a percentage on profit. So you have total revenue minus cost, total cost. That's still what a firm do, right? This is what a firm will do. But now, what do we have? We have tax. So you have to pay a tax on what? On your profit. So in the past, there is no tax, right? So this is the case, okay? And then there is a tax. What is the tax? The tax is a percentage T, okay, on the profit. And what is the profit? The profit is TR minus TC, okay? So that's the second case. The third case, so let us say, well, Jinzhengtang, what is the tax in Taiwan? We have something we call 营业税, right? What's 营业税? Sales tax. Probably, I'm not quite sure, but something like that. If you go to McDonald's, right, you buy hamburger. So let us say the hamburger is $100, but as a matter of fact, it's not, right? It's probably $95 for the hamburger and $5 is tax, okay? So what is the tax? The tax is on your revenue, okay? This tax is on your revenue. So this is still the way a firm makes profit, right? But what's the tax? The tax is on revenue. So minus the tax is on revenue, right? Okay? So let us say you sell $100, right? Your sale is $100, but do you get $100? No. You have to minus a percentage of that, 5%, okay? And the third case, the fourth case, okay, you have total revenue minus total cost. But assume the government would like to encourage you to produce more. For example, eggs. Remember, just a few weeks ago, we have shortage of eggs, right? And the government, how does the government work? If you produce more, okay, I will give you subsidy, right? So let us say the subsidy is on your cost. Okay, the subsidy is on your cost. So plus S times TC. So to subsidize a percentage, okay, T and S are both a percentage less than 1, okay, between 0 and 1, and whatever that amount is, say 1%, 2%, okay, and here T in Taiwan probably like 5%, okay. So actually we have 4 cases, and so we have 4 quantity. So here we have Q1, okay, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and so for the textbook, okay, the question in the textbook is much easier. It only talk about these 2, okay? But we will discuss several more. Okay, 等一下. So comparing 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, the textbook only asks you 1 and 2, right? So can you tell me what is the relationship between Q1 and Q2? You have 3 possibilities. Q1 equal Q2, right? Q1 greater than Q2 or Q1 less than Q2. Which one? Excuse me? Sorry, I can't quite hear you. So we have these 2, actually we have 4 cases. I want to discuss 4 cases, but the textbook only have 2, right? It said, originally there's no tax. So this is the production of the firm. But now, if the government adds a percentage of tax on the profit, okay? So here, there's one production label, right? And after the tax, another production label. So can you tell me which one is bigger or equal? This one is larger. So that's your answer, okay? What about金圣岛? What's your answer? Q1 is larger. Why?
因为它把税扣掉。
Okay? And 陈希仔? What's your answer? Excuse me?
Q1.
Q1, larger. Q1 is greater than Q2. Okay? 谢新佑, what's your answer? Excuse me? Q1 is larger. Okay? 郑怡玲. So tell me the answer.
如果是Q2的话，
Okay?
它从T2里面扣的税应该会大于的那个。
No. We only took out these 2. Nothing about 3 or 4.
在后面那个 T 不是税。
Yes, it's tax. Okay, 叶一方. Q1 is larger. 黄秀慧. Really? Okay, the last one. 于花园. Raise your hand. What's your answer?
Same.
Excuse me?
Q1.
Q1 larger. Okay, 高建燕. Q2 larger. Really? Yes.
一样的，跟Q1跟Q2一样。
Why?
因为它是那个定额税，它不影响它的那个利息，所以它。
This is not fixed tax. No, this is not lump sum tax. It's a tax rate.
哦，那就Q1比较。
Okay, so let's try. Okay, d pi 1 dq. Okay, so what you get? dtr dq, what you get? You got marginal revenue, right? Okay, dtc dq, what you get? Marginal cost. Sorry. So this is first order condition, right? Okay, any questions? Any questions? So this is the way this firm, competitive firm, to determine production level. When MR is equal to MC, that's the point they determine production level. Okay? So this is for 1, the first case. Okay? The second case, d pi 2, right? dq. So what you get? Actually, you get 1 minus t times, sorry. So here what you have 1 minus t, tr minus tc, right? Okay? Any question about here? So this is what we have, right? Okay, so what you get? d pi 2 dq, you have 1 minus t, and because this is a constant, right? You can move it out, just a number. And so you have mr minus mc is equal to 0. Okay? So, any difference between this one and this one? Hong Xiuhui, any difference between this one and this one? Excuse me? T is a tax rate, right? So 1 minus t, will it be 0? No, it will not. But here it has to be 0. So that means this part is 0, right? So that means mr minus mc is equal to 0. So any difference between first case and second case? No, right? But, okay, in the short run, the production level will be the same. But what about in the long run? Because in the past year, right, the firm does not pay tax. In this case, the firm does not pay tax. But in this case, the firm has to pay tax. What does that mean? That means its economic profit is going down, right? So let us say if in this case, the economic profit is equal to 0, what happened here? It must be negative, right? Because some part of the profit has to pay taxes. So in the long run, what will happen? In the long run, in the short run, the production level will be the same. In the long run, either some of the firms drop out. If some of the firms drop out, supply decreases, price is going to go up, right? And so you're going to get to a new equilibrium. Okay? So, in the short run, it will be the same. In the long run, well, it could be smaller, right? Or some firms drop out. If some firms drop out, price go up, you're going to go back to the same situation. So it really depends. The long run adjustment. Okay? Okay, so let's get this. Oh. So then we have the relationship here in the short run, okay? Q1 is equal to Q2. Okay? So if the tax is on a percentage of the profit, the production level is the same in the short run. But what about here? Okay, so you have pi 3, right? Is equal to 1 minus t times tr minus tc. Okay? So we now get to the third case. So what you have? You have dq d pi 3 is equal to 1 minus t mr minus mc is equal to 0. So mr is equal to mc 1 minus t. Okay? So here, for case 1 and case 2, so case 1 and case 2, what you have? You have MR is equal to MC. Okay? And this is for case 3. Okay? So this is for Q3. Okay, again, probably we're gonna deal with case 4. Okay? So here is done. So here, case 4 is equal to TR minus 1 minus S TC, right? So what you get? You get d pi 4 dq is equal to mr minus 1 minus mc equals 0. So mr is equal to mc 1 minus s. So now we know the relationship between Q1 and Q2 is equal, right? So now my question to you is, Q1 is equal to Q2, right? And what's the relationship between Q3 and Q4? Okay? Okay, 张志伟. So Q1 is equal to Q2, right? Because MR is equal to MC for both cases, either with tax on the profit as a percentage or no tax. Okay? But now the third one is the tax on revenue. Okay, is the tax on total revenue. And the fourth case is you get subsidy. Okay? So, 张志伟, what will be the relationship between Q3, Q4? Q1 is equal to Q2, and what about here, Q3, and then Q4? Here, right? And then you have here. Sorry, Q4, right? Q4, you have MR is equal to, sorry, I got it wrong here. Anyway, 1 minus S. Okay, sorry. MR is equal to 1 minus S MC. Okay? Okay, think about it. 陈志伟, Q3. Q3 larger than this or less than this?
Larger.
This one is larger. You said? This one is larger. Why?
Because MC 有除1减1啊，
Okay, and then?
所以减下来之后它就很大。
So this is larger.
对，
Okay, so what about Q3? Is larger or smaller? Larger. Okay, this is your answer. 李玉祥. The optimization condition for the third case is here, right? And Zhang Zhewei said Q3 is larger than Q1 and Q2. So what's your opinion? Xie Xingyou. Excuse me? Q3 and Q1, Q2. Li Yunxiang, you got an answer? Excuse me? Yeah, the tax is on. So case 1, no tax, right? Case 2, tax on profit. Okay? Case 3, tax on total revenue. Okay? Case 4, subsidy on total cost. Okay, so we have 4 cases. The first case, no tax. The second case, tax on the profit, TR minus TC. The third case, tax on total revenue. Okay? The fourth case, subsidy on total cost. Okay? So, the same? Okay? 高家燕 raise your hand. No idea. Then what about the fourth case? Sorry, let me erase this part. Okay, we're gonna briefly review again. For case 1, what do you have? You have MR minus MC equals 0, right? For case 2, you have 1 minus T, okay? And MR minus MC equals 0, right? Case 3, you have 1 minus T, MR equal MC, right? Case 4, you have MR equals 1 minus S MC. Okay? So, for these two, because 1 minus T will not be 0, right? Because you don't have 100% tax. So it has to be true. MR equal MC. So because of that, 1 and 2, okay, you have Q1 equal to Q2 in the short run. Because in the long run, in this case, right, comparing these two cases, because the firm has to pay tax, it means what they earn is not as much as before, right? So in this case, the opportunity cost to continue in this industry gonna be higher. And so either some gonna get out of the market or they're gonna reduce production level in the long run, okay? But what about here? Here you have MR is equal to MC this one, okay, is greater than MC, right? Because T is less than 1, right? T is less than 1. So 1 divided by 1, 1 divided by 1 minus T will be greater than MC, okay? So because of this, we know that diminishing returns, right? So marginal cost gonna go up as quantity go up, right? Marginal revenue gonna go down as quantity gonna go up, right? When Q goes up, MR goes down, right? So when Q goes down, MR goes up. So this one, okay, comparing MR equals MC and this one, right? What happened? This one is actually larger, okay? Marginal revenue is larger. If marginal revenue is larger, what does that mean? That means Q is smaller. So, sorry. So that means Q1 equals Q2 greater than Q3. Okay? Because the marginal revenue is larger, right? The marginal revenue is larger. Why the marginal revenue is larger? Because the production level is smaller. Okay, the production level is smaller. Okay, the last one here. Okay, so what you get? You see, marginal revenue is equal to 1 minus S times MC, right? And S is a subsidy, percentage of subsidy. So this is actually less than MC, right? So MR is equal to 1 minus S times MC, and this is less than MC, right? So because of that, you know that marginal revenue is actually decreasing, right? It goes down. when marginal revenue goes down, what does that mean? That means the production level is actually higher. So Q4 is actually larger than Q1 and Q2 because these two are equal, and Q3 is the least. Okay? Questions? So, it's just very simple idea. And does it make sense? Yes, it does. Because here you get subsidy, right? You get subsidy, so you produce more, right? You get subsidy, you produce more. And this is a different way of tax. It taxes on your revenue. Okay? The third case is the tax on your revenue. So because the tax on revenue, it decreases your incentive to produce more. Okay? So the relationship for the 4 cases is here. When you get subsidy, when you get subsidy on your cost, the production level is the highest. Okay? And either with no tax or tax on the profit, actually in the short run, it doesn't affect your incentive to produce. But if you get taxed on total revenue, that is not a good idea because you're going to produce less. Okay? Question? 黄秀慧 questions? Questions? No. Okay. 叶一方 question? Okay. Get it? Everyone get it? It's a very simple exercise of first order condition. So the first case, no tax, marginal revenue equal marginal cost. Okay? For the second case, even though it is taxed on on the profit, but you can factor this out, right? You get 1 minus T out. So it is basically constant. So really, case 1 and case 2 is the same. Case 3, a little bit different, right? Because it is taxed on your revenue, on your total revenue. So then, in this case, marginal revenue actually goes down, Marginal revenue actually goes up. When marginal revenue goes up, what does that mean? That means production level goes down, And for subsidy, that's really what governments want you to do. Government gives you subsidy on your total cost, so you produce more, Okay. So let's turn to question 10. Question 10. 叶一方 question 10. Are you reading? Could you be louder? $10,000. Influx. Okay, 叶一方 what's asparagus? What is asparagus? Question 10. Suppose an asparagus farmer. So what's asparagus? 王之启 what's asparagus? No idea? 余花园 louder.
芦笋。
Okay, good. So the question say, the price is now $1. Okay, the price is equal to $1, and the quantity is equal to 10,000 pounds. Okay, and what happened is that a large influx of immigrants. So, 陈希才 what's immigrant? 黄秀慧 what's immigrant? What's immigrant? Excuse me? Okay. Okay, there are two kinds of immigrants. Basically, we call migrants. Okay, migrant. Sometimes you move in, sometimes you move out. Okay, immigrant, you move in. So let us say we have some immigrant in Taiwan, coming to Taiwan, immigrant. And some people may move out, it's called immigrant. And when you say migrant, it doesn't say in or out, okay? But immigrant coming in, immigrant going out, okay? So, if you have a lot of people coming from Mexico, so what you have? And you have the decrease in wage rate by 15%. Okay, so wage rate goes down by 15%. Okay? So, if you are a rational firm, what would you do? If you are the farmer, what would you do? 于花园举手。Okay. If you are the farmer, what would you do? You're going to use more labor or use more capital?
More labor.
More labor, so it should be easy, right? But if you are U.S. workers, what would you do? If you are U.S. workers, what would you do? Excuse me?
More capital.
Louder.
More capital.
More capital. What does that mean? Chen Xizai, if you are U.S. workers, what would you do? If price of labor goes down, right, farmers gonna use more labor. But if you are the U.S. workers, what would you do?
Do more.
Excuse me?
做更多啊。
Why?
钱不够。
Okay. So what else?
多少做一点。
Louder.
少做一点。
Why? 黄秀慧. So, if there are more immigrants from Mexico, so because of that, labor supply goes up, right? Labor supply goes up, of course, wage is going to go down. And because of that, if you are U.S. farmers, what would you do? You're going to use more labor, right? But if you are U.S. workers, what would you do? Louder. Exactly, right? Because foreign labor drives down your income. So if you are U.S. workers, of course you are not happy, right? So what do? You will protest, just like what you said, okay? But it's not that simple, okay? Honestly, it's not that simple because, so let us say, if you are Taiwanese workers, okay, say how many of you will go down south to Hengchun to pick up onions? What is onions? Louder. Would you go down to pick up onions for a living? The end, under this kind of sun, scorching sun, right? The answer is no. So, as a matter of fact, American farms really need more immigrants because few American people want to pick up strawberries, pick up oranges, or pick up here asparagus. Very few because it's very hard labor. It's very painful, okay? It's not It's not an easy job. So few American people want to work there. Just like if you go to, several years ago, if you go to London, a lot of immigrants work as waiters or waitress, okay? Because few British people want to work as waiters or waitress because the pay is just too low, right? So anyway, but for question like this one is very sensitive, okay? Especially if you are Republicans, you're gonna hate immigrants, just like Donald Trump, stupid Donald Trump. Anyway, okay? So basically it's like that. Okay, question 11. 卢佑祥。Okay, so your answer. Because in the long run, economic profit is equal to 0, right? So why would firms stay in the industry to produce? 有没有想? If in the long run, economic profit is equal to 0, why would they stay to produce? Louder. No idea. Really? Okay, take a break.